Hey guys, Oleg Tkach here with your weekly rate update. And this week the Fed met and they did exactly what we expected them to do, what everybody predicted they would do, which is pause, not hike. It was already priced into the market, so overall didn't really cause much movement. Now, with that said, really the Fed comments are what caused the movement, and the Fed ultimately coming out and saying, you know, just because they paused this time doesn't mean they're going to continue to pause. It also doesn't mean that we're done with rates. It doesn't mean that we're going to drop rates. It only means that at this moment we decided not to raise them. Now, with that said, what did drive the market and kind of spook investors is the Fed dots. What are they? It's the predictions of what the Fed is going to do in the future and kind of where they stand. And what happened was the Fed dots earlier this year were actually predicting a rate drop at the end of this year, and now they're actually predicting a rate hike. The Fed also came out in the last day or so and said, if the economy continues to run strong, we are going to continue to hike because we need to get inflation down. Speaking of inflation, there was a CPI report that came out, and it came out a little bit better than expected. However, the Fed has been expecting these inflation reports to be a lot better than expected. So even though the predictions, they're still beating predictions, inflation is definitely slowing down. It's not slowing down at the rate that the Fed wants to slow down at. Therefore, if you look at the big economic picture, the economy is still going really, really strong, which is what the Fed is trying to stop because that leads to more inflation. So with that said, now all of a sudden, even though the Fed paused, all the attention is about the Fed dots, and as of right now, it looks like there might be an additional 0.5 rate hike by the end of the year. Now, next year and so forth, the Fed made it very, very clear. It's too early to tell. They're going to look at it month by month. They're going to look at it report by report, and they're going to adjust accordingly. So as of right now, what happened after the Fed meeting? We saw rates get a little bit better and come down a little bit. Ultimately, this week wasn't really good or bad for rates. It was probably a little bit more on the positive side than the negative side, but no major movements really in either direction. So until we get more data in the next week or two, that's going to really determine the outcome of the next rate movement. So there you have it. That is your weekly rate update. Just want to wish all the fathers out there a happy Father's Day. We'll continue to keep you updated, and I hope you have a great weekend.